do that right now. Okay. Actually, I don't think that's going to share. So let me do that again. I think if I switch windows, it doesn't work all the time. So, okay. So here's a kind of video I made for a Calc 2 class, and I could make more of these and less of the slides. And so I want to give you a flavor of an alternative. And what these videos are, where I was doing problems or I was solving a problem from an exam. This was a problem from Calculus 2, and again, I'm not going to go very long. But what I would do is do it on paper, narrate it, and then I would have a lot of short videos like that with specific problems. So here's an example. I want to start this video, and I'm not going to play it very long. So I'm going to solve 4a and b. Here's 4. And 4a says, given I can make this geometric series equal anything, any real number. In other words, I can choose a and r so that this is equal to x for any x. Okay. So, and the second one is if my ak is between 0 and 1, so it's positive but less than 1 in absolute value or less than equal, and ak converges, and so does this. Okay. So that gives you an idea of a different kind of video. That's more problem focused, where I do a video for post maybe the same amount of time videos, but they're shorter and they're me doing problems. So it's more of a problem-based focus than a lecture-based focus. So that's an alternative that I could do. I have to get the material to you somehow between classes, and I can do some lecturing in class, and then I can do some problems outside of class. So again, that's an alternative, a different kind of video rather than the PowerPoint narrated slides. So again, when you fill out the survey, that's something that you can think about. I know somebody said they like these more than the larger videos, and I think psychologically, 5-minute videos are better than 1 25-minute. I think you feel like you're making progress, where that 25-minute video, and I'm being totally honest, I could imagine could seem like hours. So again, that's one of the things I can do. And if you have any great ideas that you're seeing in other classes, let me know. Like, I've talked to a lot of faculty about how we teach, and we're always thinking about the best way to teach in this environment. So again, I'm just looking for ideas, and I'm thinking that critically, is what I'm doing working? If not, there's still plenty of time to make some changes, either big ones or small ones. Okay. Yeah, good. Okay, good. I'm getting a couple of good comments on that. So again, and the most important thing for me is I want to do what works for you. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing things that aren't working, because that doesn't serve anybody. So again, when we get to the survey, that's when we can talk about that. Okay. So those are sort of what's been on my mind about, and I think it's important, which is why I'm devoting a fair amount of time today to both to the survey and to talking about it. And if anybody has any comments about ideas and they want to push them out now, that's fine. You can always just do that on the survey. And I'll read those surveys tonight. And so try to get things. It may not be until, it won't be until the next week that I sort of, if I do change things, because I think what I'm doing is going to end up pushing today's class back to Thursday. And so I think that's what's going to end up happening, even though you've already seen the lectures. So you'll kind of have an off day, and I'll leave the quiz open in case people didn't have the time to get it done today. Okay. Okay, good. I'm getting a lot of good feedback on the shorter videos. And again, it's not the PowerPoint slides, it's me doing the problems. And that might be better too. Okay. So I'll give you a little bit more time if you have any comments or anything. Okay. And again, that shorter video worked well in that class. And if I do that, then I would we're trying to do things together with the other sections of Math 20, but I don't think that's the most important thing in the world. And so we would just sort of be more independent from what they do, which I think is going to be fine. I'm not worried about that. Okay. So I want to give you time for the projects, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the projects, and then I hope this will work. I'm going to ask you to log into Blackboard and keep your Zoom screen open. If that proves problematic,
then then we'll adjust. But I just want to walk you through kind of a little bit about the project. Then I want you to meet the people you're going to be working with. I want to show you the tool that you can use to communicate and share information. And you can also meet face to face if you like to, as long as you use proper, you've heard the drill. I don't need to say any more about that. Okay, you've heard it a lot, I bet. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to go to Blackboard, but I got to get Blackboard up to show it will share. And then I'll kind of walk you through it. And I'm going to I have a student preview, and I'm going to have it so it's a student preview, so I see what you see. Okay, so I'm going to do the sharing in a second. I got everything set up. Okay, so here's the, when I click on the project link, this is what opens up. And I slightly revised the project. If you've already done it, you can use what you've already done. Excuse me. But what I did is I got complete August data. And so I changed that for August 20. And then for September 20, I put the partial data. And so I'm gonna show you that in a second. I have we went over what you need for Desmos, and I have some information about that. And you should see this link in Blackboard. And if you're not seeing that, let me know. So I click on this, and I don't know, hopefully this will open up, but it should open up to your group. And you'll see I'm in group 8, but I'm really not in group 8. I have a student alter ego. And so group 8 is actually going to have 3 people, not 4. But I'll be happy to help them a little more to make up for that. But you have me and my student role as a group member. And so, and what it does within Blackboard, let's see. So I'm going to click on that, and then it shows me who's in the group. And I hope you're seeing the clicks. Sometimes the share doesn't seem to always show those. And you see who's in your group, and you have the group tools, and you have something called Collaborate. And if you click on the Collaborate, I'll give you time to get there. If you click on the Collaborate, you should get an option to start a video. And so what you can do then is you can conference with the people in your group 24/7 anytime. I can't set that up for you on Zoom, but I can set that up for you within Blackboard, which is the whole reason why I'm doing that. And I set up these groups randomly just for this project, and we'll shift them for other projects. And so if you click on the Collaborate, you have a group room, and then you have the ability to join the room. And then if you click on that, again, I don't know what's going to happen within Collaborate, you can start a video feed. And if you haven't used this tool, I'll show it to you for a second, or a little bit. And then you have on the bottom right, at least within a Mac book, you have a collaborative panel you can open up. And then you can chat, you can see who's there, you can share content. And you might have to, here, I'm going to just try to share a file. You just can go through and add a file. And then that shares it with everybody in the group. So it's a good way, it's like your group work, it's the same kind of thing, except it's within Blackboard. I imagine there's going to be a learning curve for this. And if we need to postpone, the due date or something like that, let me know like this week if there's issues with that. I want you to get, what's not important is due dates. It's getting you to understand the material and how to use it. Okay. So anyway, it's a way to share documents. And so again, I hope you're seeing some of this, and I'm happy to screen share with you privately. to do that. But the idea is I'm going to go back to Blackboard now. I'm sorry, and you know, to the main menu in Blackboard. But I think it'll be once you go there and play around with it. I'm going to ask you to do that today in a little bit. So I'm going to go back to the projects folder, and hopefully your screen is refreshing on each of these. Let me know if it's not. Okay. You should be back to the main page. And I updated it just before class today, and you can see I made some typos because I was in a hurry. So I'm going to share the project in a different window rather than within Blackboard. Then we'll come back to Blackboard. Okay, so any questions before I do that, before I stop the share? And when you go to start working with your groups, this is what we'll do. I'll have you open up Blackboard, join your project group, and then make sure that you can do that. And then there'll be some times for you to meet during class today, and then I can go and answer questions. Okay. And if for some reason the Collaborate's not working, I will just set up groups. It'll take a little bit of time, but I'll set up the same groups on Zoom that you have on Blackboard, so you can use those today. But we'll make sure you get time to spend together one way or the other. Okay. So I'm going to share the project and kind of walk you through it. And but before I do, I just want to pause for any questions. I'm going to open up the project so we can share it. Okay, I'm going to set up the sharing now. Okay, so I've got the project up and I hope everybody can see it. If you can't, please let me know. Okay. Okay. So this is the introduction, what we're looking at is data based on police killings from 2015 through 2020. And if you click on this, I'm not going to do it now. You can go to the actual website that discusses that in detail. And that, if you want to know more about it, that might be a good idea. And so what I did on Thursday is ask you to speculate about the yearly totals. And I used the survey tool. I wasn't thinking that would give me anonymous responses. I know who responded, but I don't know what you say. So I'll look through the responses and when I grade this, and I'm not going to worry about what your response was. As long as you responded, you'll get full credit. Again, I can see whether or not you respond to a survey. I can't see anything about what you wrote with your name at it. I get all this data aggregated. So it's truly anonymous. Okay. So the first thing, I'm giving you the monthly killings, police killings from 2015 through 2020. And I updated the August total because now that's complete. And I put the September to date, which was of September 8th, last week, when I handed this out. And so what I want you to do, the first question is you take 3 months and you can take, here, oops. I'm going to annotate and hopefully you can see the annotations, but you may not be able to. But the first thing you're going to do is take any of these months right here and then take one of them. I'm picking April, and then you're going to graph that data. It'll be by year, the year on the x-axis, and on the y-axis, you'll have these, and you'll get 6 points. I don't mean points you'll get 6 data points. Then I'm going to ask you to graph the partial September. And so that's going to be the second one. That's 1. This is 2. Again, just the data points. And then I'm going to ask you to do one of October to December. And again, I'm going to pick November randomly. It's only got 5 months. And then you're going to graph those 5 points. So, and you can use Desmos to do this. So you'll get scatter plots, just the points. And that's the first part. And so I'm just talking you through that here. And then I'm asking a question in D, how close do these scatter plot look to be straight lines? And what I'm asking you is, does it look like you could put a straight line through all the points or near all the points? And what I want you to do is I want you to find a straight line visually that you think fits it. So just draw it by hand and then find the equation of it. Again, everybody's going to have a different line, and it's going to be an estimate, and it's going to be the line that you think is best fit. So you draw draw the dots, and then just put a line through it and figure out how to find the equation for the line. So when you're all done, you'll have, for each of those 3 months, you'll have the dots and you'll have a line. So you'll have 3 sets of that. And then for the second problem, that line is called a linear approximation. And so for September, I want you to see where that line goes. So you won't be including the September data because it's partial in that line for September. So just extend the line, and that's going to be where it is for September is what you think the September totals will be. And I'm going to ask you to sort of, is this seem like a reasonable way to predict it? Why or why not? Use sentences. Again, there's no right answer to this. And then remember you're graphing, I'm doing November here, but you've graphed November through 2019. You have the data points and the line. Extend the line to 220. And again, where that hits is going to be your prediction, your projection for November 220. And then again, say whether that seems reasonable. So you're using the data to predict, or project is actually a better word, because project isn't quite as rigorous as predict, what's going to happen in the future. And again, I'll be happy to go over this with you individually or in class. Okay. So the third question is, I want you to add up these totals so you have the yearly totals for each year. And you're going to see something which I think is surprising about those. And so that's what I'm asking you to do in 3. And then for 4, I want you to do the cumulative data for any 2 years, 2015 to 2019. So I've done this for 2016, and you're welcome to use it. And by cumulative, the beginning of the year, it's going to be month 0, no deaths. At the end of January, it's going to be 181, because that's the total for January. And hopefully you're seeing these annotations. For February, the cumulative total is 67. And the way I got that was I added January and February to get 167, sorry, not 267. So that database will be 2 for February and 167. And again, you're going to get data for everything here for the whole year. And you'll get 13 dots because you're starting with day 0. And the last dot will be the end of December. And again, you're going to have scatter dots, and I want you to see whether that looks like a straight line, and again, to put a straight line there. And I can help you do that. So again, you're kind of doing here what you did before, except doing month to month. You're doing it year by year for 2 years. Okay. And then I'm going to ask you to do that for 2020. You're going to have partial data, start the graph for 2020 through August, and then continue it, imagine in your head it's continued throughout the year. And then you'll use that to sort of project totals for September, and for whatever month you picked, like November, what I did in part 1. And then you're going to compare the projections you get here to the ones you got earlier. So you're going to get 2 projections. And then you compare those. And what I'm doing here is there's different ways to predict data and project data. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here. Okay. And then I'm going to ask you a sort of a question at the end. So it's a lot to absorb. I understand that. And probably me talking through it didn't help a whole lot, but maybe got you started thinking about it. But the math you do is not very hard. It's plotting points, it's coming up with a line, finding the equation for that line, comparing the line that you get to the points, and then using that line to project. But the assembly, doing all this, is what's really more complicated. So I don't want you to wait till the last minute. And in a project like this, if you wait to the last minute, it just you can feel pressure and it gets too rushed. The best thing to do is to do a little bit each day. The second best thing to do is to start it, maybe wait a day, come back to it, and continue that, and things start to make more sense. You can get help from me, you can get help from Sam, and you can go to the math lab. So the idea is, I don't want you to think you're doing this on your own. I'm happy to meet with you individually and with your group. And the idea is to get you through this. And again, the math itself isn't that hard. It's understanding the big picture. And again, that's how life is. Like you were going to be able to, you'll have to use math in life. And the math that you actually use isn't that complicated. It's fitting it in with real life, which is where the complications come in. And so again, again, that's kind of what we're doing here. So I'm going to leave that up, but I'm going to pause. And if you have any questions, you can shoot them out through a chat. You can ask me in front of the class, however you want to do it. I'll give you a minute or so to sort of think of questions. And it could be that you need to really sort of get your hands into this before it'll start to make sense, and that's understandable. Okay. As I did this, I was thinking about, I want you to meet with your groups, but I think what's going to be best is to do that within Zoom. That way you can start talking about it. You don't have to worry about the complications of Blackboard. And it will take me like about a minute, 2 or 3 minutes to set up all the groups, because I have to do it manually based on what you have in Blackboard. So rather than have you jump off into Blackboard, I mean, you can do that within the groups if you want. I think I want to have the group meetings in Zoom. That way it's easier for me to visit and see how you're doing. And I'll give you about 20 minutes or so for the group meetings. So till about 2:25. Excuse me. Okay. So just give me some time to create the breakout rooms. And I'll let you know when I'm done. So take a break, for a couple of minutes while I do this. I'll let you know when I'm done. Oh, Sam is in one of your is in group 1, but again, he's not going to help you with the project. But I mean, he can help you with the project. He's not going to be an actual workmate with you. So I formed group 1, no, I have to do it all at once. So I'm going to wait and then put everybody in all at once.
Okay, you do that, man. The crash and burn. You are connected. Stop connecting me to fucking hotspot, shield, bitch.
Oops,
My Wi-Fi.
Somebody's not muted, so I don't know who it is, but you might want to mute yourself. Sorry, everybody. I think that my internet just went down briefly for a second. So I apologize for that. I think I might have to start over again with the groups. I do. Sorry about that. So again, you'll have a like, you know, a couple of minute break right here while I do this. Okay, somebody didn't get assigned. Now I'm just going to go. I'm going to go figure out where they go, but I'm going to open up the rooms for everybody else. So I'll do that now. So you should be joining your groups momentarily. Alex, you go to group 7. I just messed that up. So here you go. And Sam, yeah, I assigned you to group 2, so you'd have a assignment, but I'll let you figure out where to go. So I'm gonna start from the top. If you want to go start with group 9, Sam, or you can wait. It's up to you. But I'll start with group 1.
Maybe make.
Hi, I tried to join, but then I got kicked out. So I'm kind of here to just check in individually. You should like download, the project. And have you used Blackboard Collaborate before?
Yeah,
Yes.
I have, yes.
Yeah. Have you, Kristen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So I think that's open 24/7, and you can share documents. And so that's kind of the main idea, the benefit of that. I can't do that in Zoom. So that's one of the things. And then I have a call from group 8, but do you have any questions before I leave?
Yeah, I had a question. So are we all graphing everything separately and then sharing our graphs to make sure we have the same graphs and then putting it on one document?
That's why I think that's a good way to do it. I'm going to leave it up to you to figure out the workflow because I'm not going to see that, but I think that's a great idea. That way you're all going to understand it and you can compare to see what you're getting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
That was my question.
Anything else?
We're good.
Good. Well, I'll see you in a bit. I'm going to go to group 8.
Okay, thanks.
3.
Hi, I saw that there was a question, so.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we're just wondering, so we're the group that only has 3 people.
Right.
And how would you suggest that we split up the group work?
Well, somebody just asked that in another group, and they came up with an idea that for the graphs, they would each do it, and then sort of check their work against each other.
Okay.
And I think that's a good idea. But also told them it's up to you how you want to do it. I will understand that you have 3 in your group. I'm happy to compensate by giving you extra help. And also I know it's a little bit more work for that, and I'll sort of keep that in mind when I grade. So I usually give benefits of doubt, but I'll give even more. Okay.
Okay.
It's too bad the numbers don't work out evenly, but
Yeah.
I'm going to do random groups each time, so hopefully it works out at the end that you'll get mostly in groups of 4, but sometimes. Okay. And have you all used Blackboard Collaborate before?
Yeah.
Have.
Yeah. And oh, go ahead. I heard the but.
Oh no, I was just saying I never have, but I'm sure it isn't that bad.
Oh yeah. It's a little bit different, but the nice thing is you can go on there to video conference anytime you want. And so you want to make sure, if you want to do that now just to check it out, you want to make sure that you can find your group and you'll see like join the room, and that's the tool that you use to enter. And then you'll have sharing options, and you might have to like activate the sharing option. Okay. But yeah, it should be pretty good. But if there's any questions, they all have their quirks.
Yeah.
But this way you can, if you want to work at 3 in the morning, you can, and I can't give you that flexibility with Zoom.
Yeah.
They won't let me do it, but Blackboard is, so that's why I'm using that. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Does it like give us a notification if other people are in the room? Or do you know? I guess we could just get a group chat going or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to suggest a group chat because it's so much easier, because I have a few for a couple different classes, and it works because if we're doing other stuff, we can still be on like the same page of, oh, I'm doing this now, and then I'm doing this later, and then we'll come together later. So it works really well that way.
And there's 5 tools I set up. There's a discussion board. I didn't put the wiki on or the blog, but if you want me to, I can turn those features on. I think if you find that you need some tool that you don't have, just let me know. I mean, I can do that, but I think I gave you enough ways to share information.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know about the pinging. Maybe there's a feature. I know I get pinged when I start a meeting in Zoom, and if I'm in charge of that meeting and somebody comes on, I get pinged. But I don't know I don't think you get pinged when I start Zoom up?
No.
For the class?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's going to be similar to that.
Okay, sounds
Okay.
good.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, sweet.
Yep, talk to you in a bit.
Yeah.
I'll be leaving in a second. Okay.
To it. There's like,
I mean, it's however we want, I think.
So I'm just here to check in and ask a couple of questions and answer. And I'll start with my question, and sorry to interrupt you, by the way, but has everybody used the Blackboard collaborative tool, or have you not used that before?
Mhm. Have you used it?
I've used Blackboard to collaborate.
Yeah. And it's a video conference, and so you'll see it as available from one of your group options. And somebody said, how do we let each other know? And they said, oh, let's start a group chat. So I'll leave it up to you to figure out how to coordinate that. But you can video conference anytime you want with each other. And then I have some sharing tools in there too. And I can also activate, there's like too many tools, but like I have a blog, there's a discussion board, there's a wiki, but I did just the discussion board. If you decide you want the other tools, I was just trying to keep it simple. Just let me know and I can certainly activate them. Okay, good. And so any questions, do you have any questions for me about workflow, about how to divide up questions, about the process?
I guess one question would be, oh, wait, sorry, someone?
No, go ahead.
Okay, one like question for me is like, how, I guess kind of like how to divide the work, because like I know we're supposed to be doing this as a team, but like, are we like going to do like number one like all together, or just kind of like, I don't know. I have questions about dividing the work.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's up to us or just.
Everybody does. And so so this is one of the things I was waiting for the groups. One group said, oh, should we all each do our own graphs and compare? And I said, that sounds like a good idea to me, but that's one model. Another model is that you can assign questions to each other and then have you teach them to each other, but the questions are interrelated. So like for some question, you have to use information from another. So it's important that you know all the questions. So my suggestion would be to talk about each question together, and then you divide up the work the way that you see fit. And if you have multiple people doing work, like you could have 2 people doing one problem to another, you get like a check. That way, if one person makes a mistake, maybe the other person catches it.
Also, like if we divide the work, we can have like, so there's like 4 people in here. So like 2 can pair up and then the other 2 can pair up. And then like, let's say like question 1, we can like divide that with one group, and then like question 2 could be another. But they're like kind of like in a duo. So you can, like you said, like catch mistakes or anything like that.
Yeah.
And that's how I decide. I don't know how the other group members feel about that, but.
Yeah, I think something like that is good. And if you need a mediator, let me know. But I think you could figure it out. But if that becomes hard, I'm happy to meet. And that's a good thing to say. If you have an issue with your group, let me know, and I can always sort of meet everybody and we can work it out. Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Okay. And then somebody else had a question, and I know and so I don't know if that got answered in the discussion.
No, I was just gonna say the same thing, so you're good.
Yeah, and that's yeah. Every group has that question, so it's a good question to ask. Okay, I'm going to go visit the groups just to check everything out. So if you need me, just ping me. Okay, I'll see you later. Hi, sorry to interrupt. I'm just checking in with everybody to ask a question and then also to answer questions. So I'll start with, does anybody have any questions?
Just for the linear, I don't remember how it's phrased, linear like approximation or something. I just plugged the data points into Excel and I found the equation with that. Is that okay? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Just mention that's how you got it. There's technical ways to do it. I didn't want to make the technology an issue. So yeah, and what that does, that uses like an established procedure. It may or may not be better than what it's that you get by guessing, but that's perfectly, just say that's where it came from.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. And then I had a question, other groups have asked about how to divide up the work. I don't know if you've thought about that or discussed that.
No, not yet. We haven't. I was gonna create a Google Doc to share with everyone, so we could just type it in that.
Yeah, and then I'll talk about sharing the tools within Blackboard in a second, but what some people are doing is everybody's doing the graphing just so they can double check each other's work. Another group suggested 2 and 2 because they had 4. And they asked about like how the problems are interrelated. So everybody's responsible for every question, even though you only have to write up one report, because if you do a later question, it might ask you like to follow up on something from an earlier one. So another way to do it would be to have one person in charge of, divide it up that way. But I'll leave it up to you to figure out. And if you have issues with your group and need me to mediate, just let me know, and I'll either, call a group meeting or something like that. Okay. And then Howard, are you familiar with the Blackboard Ultra tool to collaborate? It's available from the group, and if you want to go look it up, and that's a way that you can video conference anytime you want. So you could set up a meeting, and you can figure out how to let each other know and set up the times. I also have a discussion board, and I think there's a messaging feature. Maybe it's just an email feature, but I gave you some features to collaborate. And if you need more, there's a wiki, there's a blog. If you want more, I can do that. So if you create that Google Doc, you could either share it within that or you could share it online. I mean, there's different ways to do it. And you may not even need that tool to collaborate, but it's there for you. And I think it's a good tool. Okay. Just let me know if you have any questions about anything. And we'll probably give you time. I think I'm going to give you time on Thursday to meet briefly. It won't be as long, but you'll have time to meet. Okay. So I'm going to go visit other groups, but questions before I go?
I don't.
Okay, good. I'll assume that that's good then. Okay. Just ping me if you have a question.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Hello, sorry to interrupt, but I'm here to sort of talk about a couple of things, but also first to see if you have any questions.
I don't think we do.
Okay. And you might have another group member that wasn't here today. They were.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. And so again, let me know if you have any issues with the group. Hopefully that person will join.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I do have a question. I was just wondering like how maybe would be the best way for us as a whole group to like format our project, like as a document that we all share, or do we just delegate like jobs and then come back together? And I don't know, like what's the easiest way to do this?
I'm going to leave it up to you, but I'll give sort of what I think is like a good way. Like a couple of groups have talked, every group has talked about this, and some groups are having everybody do the graphing. That way they can compare for errors. Some people are, well, you have 3 people, so it won't work. And I'll keep that in mind when I grade, and hopefully I'll give you some extra help. And hopefully, since we're going to do these projects over the course of the semester, probably 4 of them, that you'll have, the groups will get mixed up, and hopefully you'll get in a group of 4 before for the next one. But maybe 3 is easier. I don't know, because there's one with fewer person. But the problems are interrelated. So one thing to do, you could assign each person to have a problem, and they're like that problem captain. You could do like 2 people on each problem. So 2 people on 1 and 2 people on 2. I mean, you can, but the idea is, or you could have one person whose job, like I've been on writing projects. I know there's at least one English major, I think, in this group, but at least I think so. But I get the job of sometimes, I was an English major too, so I get the job of writing up things sometimes. And so it could be you give one person the job to sort of assemble the final document, and they do less of the work. But I'm going to assume that you're doing things equally, and that after you're done, I'll give you a quick survey about who did what in the group. But I want to do that after, rather than early, so you know it. Okay. Does that help?
Yeah, and in terms of like the problems being interrelated, that's like we have a raw set of data and then we're continuously interpreting it to like deduce new things. Like, are we going to make like an assertion at the end? Like, this is what might happen, or?
Well, what you're going to do, let's think of September 2020. The data is incomplete. And so my
Right.
question is, in there you have well, what's going on? What's going to happen September 2020? Make a projection. Because, you know, like
Right.
a lot of situations you want to you know, have like some sense of what it might be. So you're going to use the month-to-month data to make a projection, and that's early on. And then you're going to use the yearly cumulative total to make a different projection. And are those going to be the same? If they're not, which one's better? Is there one that's better? Is it good to have two? So that's kind of your assertion is going to be like that. And then when you do the year to year, you're going to see something about the year to year totals and year to year graphs, which I think is surprising. And so the last question is to address that.
Okay.
Okay. And I don't want to give that up because it's better you figure it out yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like the end of a suspense movie, but it's like, you know, it's good for you to figure it out yourself. I think it's better that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So other questions? I'm just going to make sure that I visit all the groups. So, okay, just ping me if you have a question.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thank you.
Oh, wait. I did have a question. Have you used Blackboard Collaborate Ultra before?
I think I did.
Yeah. Go and look at it. You'll see the tools from your group. And I don't know if anybody's missing from your group. I know a couple of groups, somebody wasn't here. And you can see that in the roster. But the video tool, you can use that anytime you want. You have a shared discussion board, so you can use that. I can set up a wiki and a blog if you want that. I didn't want to give you too much, but I can set these things up. And so I think it's a useful way for you to keep in touch. You may find a better way to keep in touch. You may not need it, but it's there if you need it.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good. I'll see you in a bit.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
That's what it says on Blackboard.
It
I'm
says
not sure.
Ty, but I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, I'm just joining in. I'll ask you a couple of questions, but I just wanted to see if you had any questions first.
Is there supposed to be a fourth person to our group?
I think on the group, your group what? You're group 5, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yes.
I think some of the groups, somebody wasn't here. So if you click on your group, it gives you the name of everybody, and Kai Williams is also in your group. So I will, you know, I will probably reach out. There's a couple of people that weren't here today. I'll probably reach out, but you might as well too. And then have you used Blackboard Collaborate before?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. I don't know if everybody has. Maybe you can help other people with it, but it's a great way to video conference, and you can do that 24/7. I don't need to be there. And I've also given you like a way to exchange files back and forth. And I think I did give you a group wiki. So you have some materials to collaborate. And so you can use those if you want. If you find it easier just to do it the old fashioned way face to face and you're able to do that, then that's fine too. As long as you don't get into trouble. So that was, I just wanted to just to point that out. And I'm happy to answer questions. And with your group, if someone doesn't show up, and you have are in issues between the group, let me know and I can try to get in touch with everybody and try to work, help mediate it. Okay. And then how about you? Do you have questions about how to assign the work, about the project?
How would you suggest we split up the questions?
Good question. They're interrelated, and so you need to know the content, but some people have said that everybody's going to do the graphing. That way you can compare what you get. Other people are going to split it up into teams. So like 2 people do question 1, 2 people do question. You can still do that, with 3 or 4 people. And then somebody else might be using a team captain, like where someone's in charge of the problem, and their job is to make sure everybody answers it. They're interrelated, so you're kind of responsible for the other problems. So the more that you work together on that, but I'm going to leave it up to you to figure out the best division. Does that help?
Yeah.
Or is that unsatisfying? Yeah. Okay. And other questions that you might have? Okay, I'm just making sure I visit all the groups, and then I'll call everybody back. But let me know if you have another question. Okay. Hi, I'm just here to answer questions, and I know some other groups have had questions about how to do the workflow, and also to see what questions you might have. So I'll start with questions that you have, if you have any.
Yeah, so I was reading and it said that the y-axis was the total, so you want us to like add it all up?
Yes, for the cumulative, you'll if you see on question, let's see which question it is. I give you the data how I want it to look. I give it for 2016 in question 4. And when it says February, that's the total to date, not the total for February, but January plus February. And then March, that would be the total as of March. So it'd be January, February, and March. So that when you do the year graph, it's totaled. When you do the month to month, it's just the total for each month. Does that help?
I'm gonna be honest, I think I just got even more confused because I thought that this graph that you have on here was monthly.
Well, I do. Cece, I was looking at question 4. You're doing different graphs. So the beginning of it, you're going to do monthly totals, and then in the second part, you're going to do yearly totals. So it's going to be.
Oh, that's.
So if you look at.
Yeah, I wasn't doing question 4. I was on because I was just making sure that the graph, because we have a Google Doc right now. I wrote from. Put the year on the x-axis and the total on the y-axis, so your data points would be 176, 281, 392.
Exactly, right. That's for the month to month. Okay. Exactly what you do. Yeah.
Okay, and then for the points, it's like 176. Is the 1 like the month?
I think the month. It's you're doing year versus total. So I think the 1 would be 2015.
Oh, okay.
Right. Or you could do, if you want to do, if you want big numbers, you could do 2015, however you want to set that up, as long as it's clear what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay. And then when I was talking in class, I was doing number 4, which was talking about how when you do the yearly data, you're graphing the total to date for the year.
Okay.
And you're not there yet, so I won't even, so that's why I confused you, I think. I misunderstood what you were asking.
Okay, so do you want us to start on number 4, or do you want us to start?
No. I thought you were asking about when you said total and adding them up. I misunderstood what you asked.
Okay.
So forget I said that until you're ready for it.
Okay.
Okay. I just misunderstood. So I'm going to visit. I want to make sure I get to every group and give us time for the survey. So, but do you have questions about how to divide up the workflow or about using Blackboard Ultra?
Not necessarily.
Okay. I think Blackboard Ultra is a really good tool to communicate. You can do video conferencing. You can have joint documents. I'll let you do it how you want, but it's there if you want to use it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to go visit the last 2 groups and then I'll start the survey. Okay, so I'll see you in a bit. Okay, yeah, bye-bye. Good, it looks like you're working already. That's good. Do you have any questions about the tools, how to communicate, the Blackboard Collaborate, anything like that?
Is this a, I don't know if you can see my screen too, right?
Yeah, I don't see anything on it yet, but.
Here, I'll stop the share and I'll reshare.
Yeah.
We're kind of just picking our months right at the moment.
I'm sorry? Are you talking?
We're just no, I was talking to you. We were just kind of picking our months at the moment, kind of figure out what we're doing.
Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah. And then you have the scales, right? And then you can just like I don't know what month you're going to start with, but you would just for 2015, you would just.
This is a good way to set it up. Yeah.
Yeah. I see. I misunderstood your question. Yeah. That's a perfect good way to set it up.
Okay. And then, so like we have our months here.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, for the months you want one that's after, you want one before September, September, and one after September.
So
for-
one before September, September, and then just one after September.
Yeah, because you're going to be projecting what's going to happen in 2020 for September and the one after.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So for before September, do we want to keep March or July?
You're asking each other, right? Okay. So let me just interrupt for a second because I want to make sure I have one more group to visit. I want to make sure I do that. Do you have any questions about Blackboard Ultra to use that to talk, or about how to set up the work? Those are questions other people have had.
Do we have to create like a new Blackboard Ultra thing, or is it going to be in like a class link and we just all have to join it at the same time?
Yeah, if you join
in our project group.
It's in the project group. If you click on that, you'll see like a link to Blackboard Ultra, and that's a video conferencing, and you can use it. 2 of you can use it, all 4 of you can use it. You'll probably have to let it won't ping you if somebody else is on, I don't think. So you'll have to sort of like, okay, let's all meet there at 8 o'clock tonight, something like that.
All right. Yeah, that helps.
Yeah, and there's ways to share documents. There's like, I have like I think you can put up a wiki or a blog. I can't remember which one I set up. You can do document share and that kind of thing.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to go see group 9, and then I'll be back. I mean, I'll bring everybody back to the class.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Bye-bye. Wait, you're group 9, right?
We're group 7.
Or you're group 7. So yeah, group 9 is where I'm going to go next. Okay, good. Yeah.
Add that to the 157.
Oh, March, not
yeah,
April.
So you would add that to the 157, and then it just gradually inclines.
Oh, so I go April, May, whatever.
So every next point should be higher than the one to the left of it.
Got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to interrupt. Are you all good? I'm just here to see if you have any questions.
I did actually, Dr. Alexander. For the word, it says do your best to find a straight line graph. It's 1E. It says straight line graph in each graph. It's linear approximation.
Yeah.
Do we know how to do that? It says you'll discuss it in class. I might have missed it.
Well, just do it by hand. Like let's say, do you have a graph yet for the data points that you can share?
We do.
Just kind of do it by, just kind of guess at it.
Okay.
Yeah, and and I'm not asking you to do this. Some people have used Excel, and they say, oh, Excel gives you a line. Can I use that? And yeah, but it's not about the line. It's about, I just want you to pick something. I'm not going to say, oh, there's a better line. I just want to, whatever line you pick, unless if it's completely crazy, you'll get full credit for it.
Okay.
But that's actually a skill to that we're not going over in class. I'm just asking you to do it eyeball.
Okay. Awesome.
Good. Okay.
Thank you.
Other questions? And are people familiar with Blackboard Collaborate?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good. And you can use that if you want. You don't have to use that, but that's a good way you can video conference.
Okay. Are we gonna have a chance to work in groups Thursday, or are we gonna be working on a handout? We will. Okay.
Yeah, I think this really works well, so I'm gonna give you some time during class.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are we meeting with the big group soon? Like, should we be wrapping it up soon or no?
Yep. Yeah, you should probably wrap it up. I was gonna send a message out. I have one more question to answer. And
okay.
Then we're gonna go and do the survey.
Okay. Cool.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hey, I saw there was a question.
Oh, we're good. We're just wondering what we're doing.
Okay. I had to go visit everybody. You mean doing in the class or doing on the project?
Just if we're coming back as well.
Yeah. I was going to go send a message out, and then we're going to come back and do the survey. So I wanted to make sure I visited everybody first. Yep.
No worries.
Okay, good. See, I'll see you back in the room in a minute. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm just giving everybody time to come back. I think everybody's back. So,
Okay, also,
oh, I don't know if that was that a question?
I'm gonna make sure I'm muted.
Oh no, I think it's just the mic that's on. That's all right. Good. Okay. So what I'm going to do is do the survey. I'm going to share the screen and show you where it is. I'm going to leave. So you can, for these kind of surveys, it's good for me to leave. I'll probably check back in about, I'm not going to say anything, but I'll kind of I'll leave the screen on, and you can always chat if you want to try to talk, but I don't want to talk during the survey. Wait, let me think about this. Everything's new in this situation. So I don't actually need to be here while you do the survey. You can do it until 2:30, then I turn it off. I'll show you where it is, and then you're free to go log off and work on the survey. And then if people have questions, just stick around and I can answer them. So I'm gonna do a screen share, but I wanna make sure I'm in the right window on Blackboard. Okay, I wanna make sure it's available. Yep, okay, good. So here's the screen share. You should see, are you seeing it says the Blackboard window? And if you're not, let me know. Good, thank you. And then it should say early course feedback, and you click on that and that will activate an anonymous survey. There's several questions. There's a few multiple choice, and then you can expand on them. So I'm asking about the videos, I'm asking about the group work, and then some general questions. For WebAssign, I'm just asking general questions. It just gives, and I will look at these, like I say, you know, thinking about how best to do this class. I find this really, really helpful. We may do more things like we did today. I think today went well. I could be wrong about that, and because of that, I'm going to give some time on Thursday. We'll do section 1.5, what we were going to do today, but there'll also be at least 15 minutes or so for the group work. And I could see that people made good progress. I was pleased with that. So anyway, just download the survey and start it, and feel free to log out. It'll turn off at 2:30. I really hope you do it because I will say, oh, they did it. Maybe give them bonus points at the end of the semester. And that's all I can tell is that you did it, not what you said. And then this information is just super helpful for me. I can't get it any other way. Okay. And again, I want to do this right, the best we can do. Okay, so I'll see you later. And if you have questions and are around, just I'll give people a chance to go, and you can always ping me. I see there's a couple of messages. Oh, someone said, what videos am I talking about for the first question? I mean the videos that I've already given, the ones that that you've already looked at for the first 3 weeks. So I'll write that out.
Are we allowed to leave the session now?
Oh yeah, session.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
And if you have questions, just stick around. I'll be happy to answer them.
All right, thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you. Yeah, bye-bye. So Javarian or Henry, did you have questions? Or are you working on the survey?
You covered them in the breakout group, so.
Okay, good. Okay.
I appreciate that. I'm gonna work on the survey, so.
And you can log out if you want.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Alexander. Have a good day.
You too, Henry. Thank you, and thanks for doing the survey. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, you're
Have a good
welcome.
rest of your day. I'm just finishing up the survey.
Okay.
So.
Okay, good. Samara, do you have a question, or are you working on the survey?
I was working on the survey, but I wanted to have help for my access code. So I don't know if I should just finish the survey and then come back for access, or
Oh, what? I'm sort of. Are you just you think you'll finish the survey in the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so? If not, then we can talk now.
I guess we can just talk now. I guess I could just move that aside
You
somewhere.
can have it till 2:30 or something like that. Yeah, and then Caitlin, Cece, did you have any questions? Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's see. So do you Samara, do you have your personal access code?
Yeah, I do. I have it.
And do you have the class access code?
I just have hold on.
Okay. Because I can give you the class code.
Can you see me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay, so I have this. Oh wait, am I even showing you right? I have this.
Okay, you have that number, right? That's your personal access code. And
Yeah.
then I have like a class code, and I'm going to share the screen in a second.
All right.
See it there. It's on Blackboard, but there's like the whole world is on Blackboard, so you're probably sick of me. Oh, it's on Blackboard, but it's hard to keep track. So can you see what I'm highlighting? It says Drake 79. I can just type it too. Here, I'll just do that. I just gave you the access code.
Okay, I see it. Yep.
No.
Hold on. I'm gonna write it down somewhere.
And that's the class. It's called the class key. I called it, but you have your access code, and just gave you what's called the class key. And if it's some reason it's not right, you can go double. Let me just double check. I transpose numbers.
Oh yeah, so that code is on Blackboard, right? Where it says like getting started
Yeah.
on WebAssign.
Yeah.
Okay, so we need two numbers. So we need that one and the access code I have.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And if you want me to hang on while you go in there, I'm happy to do that. You can even share the screen if that will make you can share your screen if you think that would be helpful.
Okay, sure. Hold on. Let me just try to get on my WebAssign.
Yeah. Good. I have it so you can share.
I have a question about the
Cece? Oh, yeah. I'm talking to somebody right now. They're going to share their screens. Let me finish that, and I'll be happy to.
Sorry.
Okay. No problem. No problem. We're just in the middle of getting them registered for WebAssign, so I want to make sure that gets done. But I'll stick around, so don't worry. So I'm not laughing at anybody there. Okay. Somebody. Okay, so I started to see your screen share and then it went away. I'm not seeing what you're sharing. Here, let me check something. No, have you? Hmm. Okay, good. I see it now. You want to unmute yourself? See more so we can, yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I don't know what was going on. I was trying to share it and it was
it's working.
being all weird.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm on here, so like.
Now oh, go ahead.
Yeah, this is a free trial I had.
Yeah,
so like, where would you put the numbers?
So if you do the purchase access now, and you put your access code and the course code, you should be good.
Okay. Oh, okay, I see it now.
Yeah. And it looks like you're in the course, so maybe you already did that, yeah.
All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
I'll try to do.
Yeah, I'm glad you're on. Okay, so you're all set? I was going to answer Cece's question. Okay, good. Okay, Cece, I'm ready.
Okay, so for the first graph for question 1 and all that, is it okay if we change the year for the y-axis to months? It just makes more sense to do that.
Oh, yeah, you're graphing month. No, because your month is going to be on the y-axis. We know that the month, you're talking about problem 1, right? For the first set of data?
Yeah.
Okay, we know what month it is because you're going to say February, like on your graph.
Yeah.
And so you just do the year. The x-axis needs to be the year. You need to, but you can use, instead of 2015, you could use 1 or 15.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I thought the y-axis was like the total of deaths and that was it. It's the total of deaths within that month. Okay.
Exactly, right.
We got this. Thank you.
You do have it. That's good. Okay. Okay, you're welcome.
All right, I got into the account, so I'll be leaving. Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so I'll see you Thursday.